Hi everyone, welcome back to Tinah TV. If it's not your first time here, if it is your first time, hello there. Remember to subscribe and to also click on the notification bell just so that you are notified when I post a new video. So today's topic is something that's also very personal to me. I actually started a page on Instagram. I'm also working on a website called A Relocation Story. If this is a kind of topic that interests you, you'll definitely love this page because it's just a page where normal people, random people talk about their relocation stories from different parts of the world. Because for me, moving abroad, moving from the place you know as home and creating a new home in another place is something that's very underrated. Like, it's such an enriching thing, but it's also a challenging thing. And that's why it's a topic that is very close to my heart, because it's something I have done. So I am Ugandan from Africa, East Africa, and I moved to Italy, Milan. It will be almost 10 years since I moved. I've learned so many things. I've unlearned so many things from where I come from. You know, living among people of a different culture, you learn so many different things. So anyway, first things first, if you are on Instagram, please do check out that page and you will find something you definitely will relate to or find interesting to read. And then we'll have a website up soon. But in this particular video, I want to tell you the lessons I have learned from living abroad, you know, and how living abroad actually changed me. Independence. Now, I'd like to think that I've always been an independent person from an early age, but living abroad teaches you independence on a whole new level, because now you're in a place that's not very familiar, so you need to learn new things, you need to learn a new way of living. And then also, you don't have that backup of immediate family or someone you know just around the corner. You learn how to really do things on your own, and it's a life skill that takes you places. Living abroad teaches you to try new things, and I mean from food to experiences. I even tried skiing. Like, where I come from, I had never seen snow. But here in Italy, we went to the mountains. I tried once, and that's a story for another day, so I'm not even going to go there. Let's just say it didn't go well. But you learn how to do things that you rather wouldn't have done if you had not left the place where you are born and raised and you're familiar with. It made me appreciate travel more. Now, I've always had a traveler's heart. Even before I ever traveled much, I always wanted to know more about what's in other places, other parts of the world. But when you live abroad and you see this new way of living, these new cultures, you become more curious. You want to see more. And the more you see, the more curious you become. And so this is something that living abroad has taught me. I always try to see a new place, even if it's just a new town, a new country, a new city, a new street, every single time I have an opportunity to. Living abroad has taught me to create new circles. Now, I'm the kind of person who kind of sticks to my people, if that makes sense. I'll explain. So I try to keep in touch and to stay very attached to my old friends and my old circle back home. But then living abroad taught me that you're going to need people who are where you are to start with, and also who fit in the new lifestyle that you now have to get used to adapt to. And so you create a new circle of friends. So you cannot stick with people who may not even understand what you are going through, you know, the people back home. So living abroad opens you up to possibilities of new friends and new circles. And for someone like me who likes people, it's actually really enriching. Discovering my strengths. Now, living abroad teaches you to come out of your comfort zone, to do things you never thought you would do, because you are out there trying to adapt to a new culture, to a new way of life, to a new way of doing things. And that needs strength. It needs strength, it needs learning and unlearning things. And so it teaches you even skills you didn't know you had. I remember when I came to Italy, the only easy thing to do was to teach English if you want to earn some little money. I never thought I would be a teacher. I don't even have the patience to be a teacher. But then I discovered that I'm not so bad at it, because I tried it out and it wasn't so bad. So I discovered something new about myself. And living abroad does that for you. Living abroad also changes how you view the world. You reevaluate how you see the world, how you see people. Because when you live in this small place where you are born and raised and you haven't seen anything else except from what you see on TV, of which TV and internet will show you whatever it is they want to show you. But actually living in a different community, you see the world in a whole new, different, bigger perspective. I remember for us Italians, what we used to hear about Italians was pasta and mafias. And living in Italy has taught me so much more about Italy and Italians and their way of life and even other neighboring countries. And it has opened my perspective to the world, you know. You realize that the world is so much bigger than you ever thought. Living abroad also makes you stronger. You're going to be judged sometimes, you're going to be rejected sometimes, you may even face some racism depending on where you're living. You're going to have to adapt to a new way of life. You're going to be lonely sometimes. And all these struggles will make you a stronger person when you come out on the other end. So sometimes you got to fight. Now, when you move abroad, depending on how much you stay in touch with your old friendships, you're going to learn that one, not all friendships are meant to last forever. Friendships will fit into your current life situation, but then you're also going to outgrow some friendships. Some friendships won't stand the test of time, some will, but then you're also going to make new friendships. So living abroad teaches you that friendships can be in so many different ways and so many different forms, but it also teaches you who your true friends are, those who are going to stick with you even when you're so far away physically. And that has changed a lot for someone like me who finds friendships very valuable. I'm a person who values friendships and these kind of connections, both old and new. The last way living abroad has changed me is that it has taught me to appreciate the little things. And by little things, I mean things like food back home, you know. I used to think that, okay, I'm gonna go to Italy and eat pasta and eat, you know, some of the best dishes in the world are from Italy. So who would miss food from home? But I actually really miss food from home. I miss going to a cousin or a distant auntie without having to make an appointment, without having to schedule anything. You just walk into their house and say, hey, I'm here and I'll be spending the night. Some little things from where you come from that you once took for granted, that when you live abroad, you start to appreciate more. But then also living abroad, you appreciate things that you have learned in the new place that you live. For example, I learned a whole new language, and that's a big deal. It's a big deal. Someone else may not see it as a big deal because they don't need this new language where they live. But I appreciated these little things and these little changes and adaptations that living abroad forces you to make. And so if I could say one thing, it would be that if you have an opportunity to live abroad or just try out something new out of your, you know, your familiar land where you are, you know, born and raised, do it. It's very enriching, it's very eye-opening, and it's something that I would want to even shift to my children. I would like them to see the world because it really opens you up to new possibilities and new ways of thinking, and it makes you a much happier person, I'd like to think. But I'll also mention it's not easy. So you need to be strong and you need to be flexible and you need to be open to anything, because when you live abroad, anything can happen. Your life can just flip in different ways. If you've made it to the end of this video, thank you so much for watching. Do remember to check out our relocation story on Instagram. And if you have a relocation story to share with me, if you've moved abroad, please do send me a DM or just leave a comment down here. I would really like to hear your stories. That will be it for today, and see you in my next one. Bye bye.